speak as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And our like sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
You think you are free, that your decisions are your own. Tell me honestly, did you really choose this path? Or was it chosen for you? Your father, with every triumph, every failure, was it not his decisions that brought you here? Has his path not sealed your own? Marked out in golden bricks below your very feet. The path is set. Keep your head up. Keep your weapon loaded. Follow the battle brick road.
What is up, you beautiful people? How are you doing? Welcome to SHANTH ENJETI Art. I am SHANTH ENJETI. It is a pleasure to be here with you guys. Lots of craziness, lots of cool stuff to catch you guys up on. I gotta say a shout out to my channel members who are here. Thank you guys so much for being here. We have got Cranberry Langers up in this house. Welcome, welcome, Cranberry Langers. We have got Jeremy Burtz. It is great to see you, channel member Jeremy Burtz. Ferris Comics, I can't pronounce or read anything well. God help you all, but God bless you as well. It's great to have you in the house. Stephen Rockwood, the first, the alpha, the omega, you rock star. It is great to have you here, channel member, and Simply Green rounding out our channel members. In addition, we have got my man Dean in the house. What's up, Dean? How are you doing, my friend? Let's see who else we've got. We've got the groomsman up in here. What's up, the groomsman? How we doing? It is great to see you guys. So let us talk turkey. So here's the thing that I wanted to first tell you guys about. So I haven't streamed in a couple of days, as you may have noticed. I have this this power hub that I plug into my laptop that allows the Ethernet cable to go in and all that other stuff. You know, the two cameras and everything like that. And it's connected by a cable, and that cable finally gave up the ghost and shredded, and it wouldn't work. So I couldn't get enough power to have everything run. So I ordered a new one. I've gotten that all set up now, so we're good to go. That's a long way of getting back to, we're back in the swing of things. We're back at it like a bad habit. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. I've been working on this piece like crazy. And I've also been asking myself, what was I thinking when I designed the composition for this piece? Because it is one of the most complicated paintings I've ever done. And that's just how it goes sometimes. That's just how it goes. I mean, I don't really have a formula to what I do. I more have I more have, you know, this kind of sense of, okay, this is what this piece could be, and then I sort of jump off, you know, a cliff into this thing and hope that my skills and the things I do will catch me, and that's how I get what I get. It's not so so formulaic, you know what I mean? And that's a big part of what I do. And I'm not, that is not to say, by the way, that I'm against I mean, I'm sure there is some kind of system somewhere in that crazy cranium of mine, but it is the process I have. It's really strange. So I actually, you know, as I've often said, I was doing a stream with the missus. Shout out to Mrs. Enjetti. But I was doing a stream with her when I came up with the layout for this piece. I had no idea what I was going to do when I started it. It just happened, you know. It just kind of came together. Start this chat off right by hitting like on this video, or lick, depending on how you're feeling. Listen, guys, love is love here at Shanth Enjeti Art. And you guys know this. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Is that what Floyd Mayweather says? And if it don't make likes, I don't know how it goes. But we got 13 people in here. Welcome, and 6 likes on this. Come on, let's move that number. See if I can get this dang paint cap back on. So yeah, so I started working on this piece, and it's such an epic story, because if you don't know Michael Bancroft's The Lucent, the link to the website is in the description, as well as a link to all the awesome Iron Age gear, which I've got to get even more of it because I want to order a bunch to wear. But this is a piece inspired by that, and it's a story that spans an incredible amount of time. It was almost as if somebody said, can you paint me a portrait of Ethereal? And I'm like, Ethereal? What the hell? How am I going to paint that? That's basically what this gig is. And I just sort of have to go about it and attack it as best as I can. And that means painting Ella. That means painting this kind of atmosphere to it. And that's the thing that's so important about the stuff that we're doing, you know, and so important about what we do in this space. You know, we're chipping away. We're trying to make this stuff happen, and we're trying to make stuff that's beautiful, that affects people. And I think sometimes, you know, it's, maybe we don't say it enough, but it's usually, hey, it is, the Admiral is in the house. Admiral Wackass, channel member and legend, OG. It is great to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. It's so funny. So I did a video earlier today that made me laugh, because it was a ridiculously cheesy Shanth video, but it's how I was feeling. So, apologies. But I love it. And I said, you know, when I see people come into the chat, that enthusiasm is real. And it's the kind of thing that made me, moving from Tennessee up to Rhode Island, a little bit difficult. Because the first day I was walking down one of the main streets up here in Providence, I was saying hi to everybody, and they were looking at me like I was an insane person. And so it goes to show you, Rhode Islanders are a quick study. What is up, Fritzy Schnitzel? It is great to see you. I'm a 4th Austrian. I don't know if you know this, but I grew up eating schnitzel, so I always love seeing the word schnitzel whenever I get a chance. And so I started thinking about how, if someone were to ask me, you know, what got me into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the thing that got me into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was that first, you know, graphic novel that came out in the 80s. And the collecting of the single issues that was, you know, in color. But if I'm really honest, you know, if I get more specific, it was that cover painting by Kevin Eastman that he did for it. And I think sometimes it's that one image that pulls you in. So when somebody commissions me, you know, to do a single image for their piece, to me, that's the bar that I want to try to hit. The reason why I started collecting, you know, Punisher comics was because of that Mike Zeck cover that was airbrushed by, I think, another guy, Zimmelman. That I saw that, and I was like a kid who didn't know anything about comics. All I knew was the terminology my friends and I used for video games. So I was like, I want to buy that Punisher comic. It's the cover with the great graphics on it. Ridiculous. But that's the stuff that sort of gets me into things. Channel member Mark's Music Obsession. It's great to see you, brother. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great evening, my friend. And I think that's how it goes for a lot of us. And, you know, it's why I was thinking about this. My son was talking to me about thumbnails and sharing with me. Shout out to my boy, or my young man. the thing about it was interesting is he was, of course, citing Mr. Beast, who I'm right on the heels of. Know that, Mr. Beast. I'm coming for you. And he was like talking about thumbnails and the things that you do. And, you know, I know that you know, there's all these different strategies. There's all these different ways to go about things if you want to build a YouTube channel. But, I mean, I think that's sincere information. You know, that's really sincere information, because it's the same thing with comic covers. It's the same thing with pulp. The goal was to get people's eyeballs invested in it, to get them to see it and want to get into it. And the thing that's crazy about that is that that's all sales is. At some point, I think that there's this thing that happened in art, which was people were kind of got like a little too cool for school with that stuff. And they thought, you know, oh, I shouldn't have to try to get an audience. You know, they talk about this in boxing a lot, which is fighters are kind of like, do I have, you know, waiting for the promoter to promote the fights. And what you're seeing more and more is people responding to, you know, folks who are promoting themselves on their own social media. Those days are kind of past when that's effective. People want to connect with creators. And so, you know, what's true for the artwork is very much true for the promotion and the things that we do, and putting ourselves out there and sharing what we do. And, you know, if you've got the opportunity to connect with an audience, connect with them, for heaven's sake, you know. What is up, Citizen Ronan? How are you doing, my friend? It is great to see you in the chat, man. Rock und roll. And, yeah, like, says the groomsman. Right on. And hail to my man, Cranberry Langers. OG in the house. It's great to see all of you guys, man. It's, yeah, I got a bunch of stuff updated. And, you know, had to get, you know, every time I log into something, it's like, would you like to update this software? And I'm like, would I like to update this software? But it was a hardware failure that kind of made it impossible for me to stream for the last bit. So I had to update my cables. And what was so cool is my Ethernet is running a lot smoother. So apparently that thing was in a lot of trouble. It's interesting that frayed wires are, you know, something that hinder the ability of a machine to work. Who would have thought? And yeah, I've got out a brand new brush right now because I'm doing some, you know, very subtle, kind of intense Art Nouveau lines here, because I love Alphonse Mucha, I love Art Nouveau. And it's strange because I know I've talked with John about this. What's up, Awesome One? How are you doing? Yeah, I know, Steven. I know. And what is up, channel member Awesome One? Welcome to the stream. It is great to see you, my friend. Sometimes there are failures in life that we unfortunately can't update. Yeah, you're right. That's really true. Yeah, it wasn't a software update problem. But I actually finally bit the bullet, or I should say they re-released it, and I didn't miss it this time. And I bought one of the deluxe Spawn collections of the first issues, the first 25 issues. And so I've been looking at Todd McFarlane's work, and you know, and trying to, you know, I think it still influences the stuff I do. You know, John Malin disagrees, I think, but I think it still influences my stuff. But because I'm working on Spring Ball, I really wanted to kind of look at it and look at the color palette and the things I was going for. Look at the lettering is a big part of it, because, you know, in addition to doing this stuff, I'm working on Spring Ball and trying to, you know, get that book together and get that story tightened up. And it's just been a blast, man. Been working on and I've been trying to update things to the extent that it's possible here. So I'll show you some stuff I've been trying, and I don't know if this is going to work. You know, oh my God, I know. Mark, seriously, man. I can't even imagine. Oh, Mark, I don't know if I told you this. For her birthday, my daughter got an electric guitar, man. So she's learning electric. And she's super excited. I'm really proud of her. Yeah, it should seem a little clearer. Yeah, that was one of the problems we were having. I think it was really messing stuff up. I also have a fellow art friend, not a pro, who streams his work, and his audio has been out, yeah, because he has OBS and can't figure out how to get his audio back on. Oh, man. Yeah, so let me show you some of the stuff I'm trying to do here. I don't know if this is going to work. We'll see if it works. But I've been trying some new, what's it called? Scenes is what we have here. So let me see if this works. So, whoa, it did. It did. Wow, holy cow. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is the InDesign. Let me know if you guys can see this. And what is up, everybody? It's great to see all you guys pouring in here, you maniacs. But let me know if you guys can see this, if this is showing up on screen. What's up, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969? How are you doing, my man? So this right here is the InDesign document. See what? I basically can do, yeah, you good? I basically can do the opposite of what Stephen Rockwood's telling me. But that is still the truth, guys. That he is a lighthouse in the dark. That is what it's about. So this right here is the InDesign document of me laying out and putting together Springball right now. So for those of you guys wondering how that project is coming, and it's great to show it this way because the video is going to be way clearer than on StreamYard. But for those of you guys wondering how that book is coming along and my rework of it, it's coming along great. There's a lot of sketching happening in it. There's a lot of drawing happening in it because, again, I've changed up some of the story elements of it. But what you can see, let's zoom way in here. What you can see when you're looking at this is you can see the detail that we're going for in it, you know? And so all of this stuff is about, you know, pushing, you know, the envelope as much as you can and really cartooning it. So this is kind of my first new drawn face in this particular stylistic. And it's my hope that it's like, yeah, spring balls. I've thought about it, man. Be awesome. Would be excellent. I'd love it if he walked in a room with like two tails instead and was like, you know what you need to work in this business? You need a pair of spring balls. And I'll give him Alec Baldwin's, you boogers. Yeah, there's stuff happening. There is all sorts of stuff happening. Yeah, there's a dentist you don't want to see. Without a doubt. So yeah, this was inspired by a movie that I was watching at the time called City of Lost Children, and I was basing it off of him, but just a lot of really fun. You can see me in process working this stuff out, but a lot of fun kind of showing the transformation and redrawing some of this stuff of this character, and then just having a lot of fun with the layout pages, you know? So I'm not only am I painting constantly, but I'm also painting in digital, and the way that I work is I basically paint in color and then I do the line work after the fact, and that's what the biggest part of this new change in the way I'm working is that I think I've always just been a painter and I didn't know it yet, so I needed to you know, to learn how to paint and then learn how to, you know, put this stuff together. So you can see where I've worked in on a lot of these pages. I got a little cameo from H.P. Lovecraft down there, tiny in this panel. But yeah, we're gonna make this book sing. Mary Shelley quotes at the start of every chapter, which is important. And yeah, just building it out, making the fun lettering that we do here. And if you're a fan of the stylistic of, it's kind of weird. Let me put it this way: just like you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was kind of a fun love letter to Frank Miller's Daredevil and Jack Kirby and all of that stuff. This book is very much a love letter to those early sort of Todd McFarlane books, and then another weird influence, which is Dave Stevens' The Rocketeer. So it's kind of strange. In a way, if you're the kind of person who, you know, read those Daredevil issues and then were like, wow, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's totally different, but if you were there, then you know. That's what I'm doing with this book, and it's fun, but it's completely its own story at the same time. It's completely new, much like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was, but I think I have the hindsight and I have the evolution of my skill set, which is allowing me to make things more dynamic and more crazy and sort of play up the skill set that I have. And then, you know, Stephen Rockwood, you know, I'm just saying, you know, Stephen Rockwood. Yeah, it is a love letter to balls. You're absolutely right, man. What is up, Paul? How are you doing? It's great to see you. Yeah, City of Lost Children is a great film. So you can see me kind of like roughing in with a trackpad figures, and then I'll start to rework them more as time goes on. So this is kind of, you know, the cliffhanger last page of issue 2 being completely reworked, and it's gonna be a thing, man. It's happening, you know. And then you jump to issue 3, which I'm working on right now, and this is all digital work now. So I'm kind of going in and letting myself paint it, and I'm actually making a lot of references, graphic match cut references to comics. So this right here is a reference to Oroku Nagi attacking Tang Shin in the original Ninja Turtles comic. So I'm going to do frames inside of all of these cables, and they're not only going to be how Spring Ball met people, but they're going to be nods to comics that you know from that time. So yeah, we're having a lot of fun, man, on this book. It's going to be, guys, I cannot wait to share this with you. It's the same thing with Nosfero, man. It's the same thing. I want you guys to just have a great time and enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, start at the tits and work your way out. You're 100% right, Simply Green. If you can grasp these balls, you got me. Let me tell you something. I'm thinking of changing the title to D's Nuts. Do you know what I mean? That's what I've considered it. Everybody's saying hello to Paul. Wonder if the post office loves him yet. Not yet, but they're going to hate me soon. They got till November 10th, and then we're coming. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Those comics are fun, man. It's a love letter to balls, 100%. The coloring is interesting. Can see the painting influence big time. Didn't you do this with your finger? Yeah, I did. Did all this on a trackpad. Yeah, City of Lost Children is a great film. Yeah, the Max and Turtles look. Yeah, 100% awesome one. Yeah. Spring Ball Truck Nuts. When? As soon as I can. Yeah, it's very much 80s, 90s. It's influenced by Olaf and Orzechowski and Todd McFarlane, of course, and that whole look they gave those early Spawn issues, because I want it to be pop, you know. I want it to be, all the stuff I do is pulp, but I want this to be a little bit more poppy. And so that's the kind of thing that I've been working on. So yeah, so that's what we're working on. That's what we've been doing, guys. And so now that I've got my system set up a little bit more, I can actually share that process with you and show you what we're up to. So yeah, lots of fun to be had here. Lots of fun to be had. Let me see if I can, I just want to adjust this a little, see if my focus could be improved on this. Use manual focus. So that's out of focus. That's a little bit more focused, I think. Now, I'm wearing glasses, so, don't, if it doesn't look great, if it's not perfectly in focus, I apologize. But my resolution should be better because we got brand new, cables on all this stuff. So that's the goal. That's what we're shooting for. Pop balls. Amen. Busting them balls. Yeah, man. Groomsman, I'm checking your channel every single day, man. Okay? I'm checking your channel every single day. You can't just do one short video and then say, I gotta lie down. I can't take it anymore. Come on now. I want to welcome you to the insanity that is streaming. Make sure I'm in the right good. My hand is taking up most of that space, man. Let me see if I can make it so you guys can actually see what I'm painting. There we go. Alrighty. Rotate the brush. I mean, you get to a certain point where you do this stuff so much that you can tell what angle the sharpest point on the brush is going to be. And that's an essential part of what you do. When I was working on the CyberFrog trading card, and I remember telling Ethan this, I was like, can I take another pass at this? I just got glasses, and I realized everything in that is out of focus. And thank God he was like, oh, yeah, man, you got all the time in the world. Because it was not, the trading card it was going to be on wasn't even figured out at that point yet. And so I got that redone, and then I redid a piece for John Malin that I was working on that was for the Visions, for the first Visions book. It was just for the fan thing, but I was like, man, this looks diabolical, because I just couldn't see a thing, man. Let me see here. Dude, I posted a new one this morning, and I've got my books ready to film another one tonight. Well done, the groomsman. Well done. But Shanth showed a picture of a hot chick and repeatedly said Stephen Rockwood. Know what I mean? Look, I love Stephen Rockwood. You know that, Cranberry Langers. You know that. Collab your balls with Phil's dirty main character horror story. There you go. Yes, indeed, man. I gotta tell you this, man. My man Phil. Love that guy, man. Love that guy. He's definitely a real one, man. I mean, he sent me. Didn't have to do it, but when I missed out on getting that because I couldn't make it to the exhibition. When I missed out on getting that Steranko show catalog, Phil had my address from a previous campaign, and he just mailed it to me. My wife goes, were you expecting something from Phil? And I said, I don't think so. Is it a book? I don't think the book's out yet. And sure enough, he had sent me that Steranko catalog. So lots of love, man. Lots of love to my brother Phil in Chicago, man. What's up, John? How are you doing, brother? It's great to see you, man. Yeah, posted a little Halloween video. Very cool, man. Yeah, oh, man, Halloween just came and went here, which was... I watched some movies late at night, but it was crazy, man. Things have been nuts here. Hello, Shanth, trying to sneak one by me? Never, never. Where does one get a copy of Space Girl anyway? Well, if you want it in English, I don't know, but if you go to Amazon France, they have them still. They did a softcover release, and I think they re-released it recently. The only other place where you can get any book, and I know my man the groomsman knows this link, is Stuart Ing Books. Stuart Ing is a very dangerous man. You will go broke. He's like going to a comic convention because he has con exclusive sketchbooks there. He now publishes books. He has tons of European imports. It's like the Big Bad Toy Store, but it's out of print books and all this stuff. And you can spend a lot of money buying books and limited edition stuff on Stuart Ing Books, man. So I'm pretty sure that, I mean, I don't know what price they'd be at, but you can get anything there. If you've got the dime, he's got the time. But man, it can set you back depending on what it is. And then sometimes you can just get some really great stuff there that, you know, is just not in a lot of regular stores. So yeah, but I mean, that Space Girl is a work of insane genius. And one of the things he does where every certain couple of issues, or every certain, because they're panels, it's much more like a comic strip. I forget what it is, but it's almost like a Sunday Funnies kind of thing where he renders one out like crazy. And they're beautiful, man. Let's see here. The EFS 24mm. Oh my God, what the heck lens? Oh, there we go. Stuart Ing Books. There it is. The groomsman's got it, man. Yeah. Hazaret came by for Shop's premiere earlier. There you go, guys. Welcoming people in. I love it, man. Look at all you wonderful people here. Spring Ball. Shaft crossover. You're totally right. Running into Steranko at Denny's with Phil was funny as F, though. Dude, that is one of the all-time great stories right there. Like, that's beautiful, man. Yeah, Steranko is basically, you know, the pulp godfather right now, man. He's the pulp godfather. There's nobody, I mean, after Steranko, you've got, you know, in terms of the next gen coming up, you've got Razor Fist, you've got folks like me, but I mean, Steranko is that link, man. He's that link to the past, you know what I mean? And we don't have a lot of those guys left, and that's really unfortunate. You know, they kind of, I think they would really appreciate this resurgence or this new interest. We lost, you know, James Bama a couple of years ago as well, who was famous for his Doc Savage covers. So, you know, we've got big shoes to fill, and I aim to fill them as best as I can. Because, you know, it's like this stuff is such a part of our culture. And this kind of free expression and this ability to, no pun intended, go balls to the wall when we do our stuff. We've got to do that. Oh, man, I wish that was true. Actually, I felt like you were almost said Shanth-nado, which would have been cool, like Sharknado. But yeah, Shanthanko, I don't think I can pull it off, man. I don't know if I've got it, man. Is Steranko the last one of the legends? I know, Ramona Freydon is still with us. Yeah, there's a handful of people, but we lost... oh my gosh, who are all the people that we've lost? We lost Basil Gogos. Like, within the same period, we lost a whole crew, man. And it's rough, dude. It's rough, man, because people like Basil Gogos were still doing, you know, horror art up until, you know, the end. And so you could see, I think he even did a poster or a painting for the 2010 Wolfman movie, which is, you know, only about 15 years ago. And so, you know, these guys are great. And Bama is just one of those incredible painters and realist painters who he just... Look at this crazy detail we do here. I can't stress to you guys how small some of this stuff is going to be, however this is reproduced. Anything short of a poster, it's going to be a postage stamp, man. We had to tactfully tell him we were coming from a porn convention. I blame Brandon. That's beautiful. Think about what you think about. Random question. Do you guys have any advice for soon to be father? I'm definitely intimidated as I know what an important responsibility a child is. All right. I got some great advice for that. And I'm sure there's going to be other folks in the chat who have advice because mine just turned 18. What is up, J-Bot Art? How are you doing, man? Twice in one day. Yeah, guys. I got the tech back up and running, so I had to. So, advice for being a parent. The biggest one is... just be prepared to fall in love with a human being on a level that's molecular. I mean, it's unbelievable. I've seen, having, you know, experienced it, you can't imagine your life without them. And I think the other aspect of it that I would advise people about is don't think about the future that much. Be present where you are with the kid. You only get that time once. So I always say to dads, don't just be the person behind the camera. Have, your lady, your family, take family pictures where you're all in them. Make sure you get some photos in there. But the biggest thing with kids is that babies have survived for a very long time on this planet. You have to be careful with them. You have to take care of them, but they're not daisies, right? So sometimes they cry because they just need to cry. That's how they express themselves. And make sure that you sleep. You guys either take turns and you sleep when they sleep for the first bit. The first couple of weeks are rough, but it's so much easier after that. And, it really is just about connecting with them and making sure that you're enjoying the experience. And if the mommy gets anxious, tell her everything is going to be okay. Don't panic. Be the calm one. Always be the calm one when you can. They really appreciate that. When they're freaking out, you don't freak out. That's my best advice, man. That's the best way I would say, and I think that's the kind of thing that it's really weird, but you don't have to be a perfect parent. You have to be a good enough parent. And I mean, that's important because, just like with art and just like with anything that you do, you don't want to smother the unexpected. You don't want to, and that sounds like a terrible metaphor to use right now, but you want to leave something open for the unexpected because you don't, agreed. You don't know where these kids are going to, what they're going to be. They're of you, but they aren't you. So at the point I'm at right now as a dad, my kids can do things that I don't know how to do. They have talents and skills that I don't have. They're just natural abilities. And the same thing goes with the art. There are story moments that came from me changing one thing in a panel and going, I think there's a seed of a narrative right there in Nosfero. And the same thing is happening right now as I rework Spring Ball. And the same thing is happening right now on this painting. There's so many times, it's not like what people think. Yes, tell mama she's doing a great job and teach your kids one thing. Thank your mama. Very, very important. Very important, yeah. And tell her, God, sorry, you're going to see a little bit of my silly romantic side. Tell her she's beautiful. Your wife all the time, or your missus, or your lady. Tell mama she's beautiful. It's important. Because I know that that is a really tough time because there's a lot of hormones in a lady during that time. And, yeah, you always need to hear it. Always need to hear it. It's surprising how much, again, acts of kindness that I'm not thinking about leading anywhere have brought amazing things into my life. And so that's just kind of the way I go about things. I think it's tough to describe, but there are moments when you're so tired as a parent and no one's going to tell you, hey, you need to get some sleep. You need to take a break. You know what I mean? I've often joked that the babies are both incredibly tiny and incredibly strong, and they can break your psyche through sleep deprivation. So I am pretty aware that we do use baby cries for audio torture in the world. So yeah, it's rough. So take a break, get some fresh air, let your kid nap. Sometimes they're gonna cry a bit. It happens, So all that little stuff there. But, to me, when I think about what I'm doing, and I guess this is a big part of it, is that you have to be aware of the audience. You have to be aware of what they're going to say when they see things. But you can't be paralyzed by that and be paralyzed by that anticipation. You just have to throw everything into it. And you have to also make sure you don't overwork things. I think that's true for parenting, and that's true for anything else. That one of the things that took me a long time to learn and a long time to figure out as an artist is yeah, you and me both, brother. It's one of the things I think about a lot is it's these open spaces that are essential, and you got to make sure when you're working you don't crowd those out. And it's that interplay of the detail and the open sort of spaces, like the detail there, and then all of the negative form that you see around it, that kind of give it its verve, kind of give it its kinetic energy. And so it's the same thing with a lot of things. Leave a little room for silence. And the sound will have more meaning. And if you have a lot of sound, add a little bit of silence in, and that silence will have more meaning. And it's just that interplay that you're always working on. you know, it's you don't have to know everything when you start. You know, imagine early humans, you know, and what they knew about raising kids, and somehow we're still here. So yeah, it happens. Somehow we managed to do it. There we go. See if you guys can see that okay. There we go. It's hard not to do the Bob Ross voice. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Let me see here. Yeah, shipping will start soon. Shanth got the books from the printer. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. You'd think, but nah, she's just... she's Louise. Songs from home where you used to torture. Oh my God. That's terrifying. Yeah. Shanth, do you think a college degree for art is truly necessary? Absolutely not. And that's just backed up by, you know, reality. So for those of you guys who haven't seen it yet too, by the way, just because someone brought it up, this is the first copy I took, and the only copy so far I've taken out of the boxes of Nosfero. So for those of you guys who are wondering, this is what we are up to, guys. This is what we are up to. We're making comics. Let me zoom way out there so you guys can see it. So this is Nosfero the Cryptwalker. Nice gloss cover. Nice square binding right there. We got, of course, our all-important logo, Shanth Enjeti Art, on the back. And it's going to have a really cool making of scene in the back right there. And that's my philosophy right there. Lurid grandeur is what we're about. So you're going to see the sketch process and some of the early abandoned ideas. So it's just going to be a heck of a book right there. You know what I mean? Boom. So yeah, I cannot wait to get those shipped out to you guys and for people to see it, man. Because then we got to launch a bunch of campaigns. Actually, we got to launch. I'm still toying with that right now. So it's because there's a lot of things people are asking me about. They're asking me about a second chance campaign for Nosfero now that it's closed down, and they're asking me about Spring Ball, and they're asking me about just a bunch of different stuff, man. You know. Let me see, my glasses just fell off. So excited. It's the only one out of you and Gabe's I could back because I'm pretty broke right now. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to get it. Think about what you think about. Much love, man. Apples and potato chips. That's right. It's all about that booty. You know it. I gave birth to reupholstering the arms on my chair today. Whoa, dude. Congratulations, man. Unfortunately, I got nothing for you out in whack. Ask my wife. It's a saint. We were good friends before we got together. That's the key, man. Yeah, that is the key, man. Yeah, I absolutely do appreciate it. Absolutely do. And that's why, guys, when we were writing the checks to the printer, you know, you pay one at the start and then you pay one at the end for them to finish the job. You know, those were serious checks because we are having a first class print job done on this book. They do a lot of art books. They are not a cheap printer. I wanted it printed in the United States. That was really important to me. Because that's just a big part of you know what I've always done with my art books 1 and 2 and this one. And so yeah, we spared no expense on these books, and we're not sparing any expense on the shipping. I mean, this is going to be really expensive, but I want you guys who got in here at the start and have made this possible, made Shanth Enjeti Art what it is. I mean, listen, subscribe to this YouTube channel only if you can handle really hokey videos and really sentimental, generally speaking, positive videos, because that's just the gear that I'm in, you know, and it's and I've been this way for I've seen too much and been this way for too long for it to be easily shifted. But as I work and I put this stuff together, you know, it's you guys supporting. It is not easy to have no book income coming in since we closed the campaign. You know, every dollar counts. Like, financial conversations are a big part of what we do in this household. So you guys who are channel members, you guys who are backing these books, we really appreciate you, and we got to keep this thing growing. And your word of mouth is so important. Everybody's word of mouth is, man. So that's a big part of what we do here. What is up, Past Master Dan in the house, my brother? How are you doing, my friend? It's great to see you. Yeah, man. Oh my gosh, back again. It is great to see you. How are you doing, Hazret? Let me see here. There you go. Look at all the love in here, man. Yes, indeed. Liberty, 100%. I love those emojis. It's been so fun making those, right? That's the fun part of it, and we love this stuff. Think about what you think about. I think you only think in binary. Sometimes it's what it is. Shanth, how many non-binary characters does your comic book have? What's sort of funny about all of that stuff is it's like you might laugh, but I really do have quotas in my book, and my quotas are: did I paint enough monsters? Did I paint enough sexy babes in this book? And it's really funny. It gets to be kind of technical where I'm like going, I feel like I need a more heroic image here. I feel like I need something a little bit more beautiful here. And what the real trick of doing this stuff, this piece and Razor Fist piece, right, is that there's not really a babe character in the book, because Michael's got, Ella, and Ella is, beautiful, and she is kind of that character, but the world that she inhabits is so large, and so I was really challenged on the pulp rules, which is mystery, danger, and sexiness. And so the sexiness of this has really had to come from the lines in a lot of ways, but also I had to make sure I got this particular note in there. And for those of you guys who backed Ghost of the Badlands by Razor Fist on Indiegogo, which I know it's going to be coming out. I don't know if this will be available, but I'm sure he'll do more with it because he owns the rights to it. But for those of you guys who backed Ghost of the Badlands, the deluxe edition, this is going to be a print in the back of the book. And as you can see, right here, it's like, having this kind of tragic almost scene that's very reminiscent of the Frankenstein movie poster / the nightmare that was influenced by. I wanted to make sure that I had, a female figure in it, because I'm like, and this is tiny, guys. Like, this part of the painting is so small. But I had to kind of, find my way to get that to work. And so I wanted to do something that was a little bit more, graceful, a little bit more Art Nouveau. Yes, but she's got Shirley Temple boobs. That's rough. That's rough. And cheers to you, past Master Dan. You should do a painting, while riding a train through the snowy mountains video. I should, actually. I really should, man. Let's see here. The campaign is closed now, but you can see Sean's Nosfero painted comic book here. That's absolutely right, guys. Yeah, you can check it out there. Thank you, John. And there will be a second chance campaign, guys. So don't you worry. We're gonna make sure that we get that second chance campaign for the people who missed it. And it's gonna be fun to do, because I'm gonna be doing the art only campaign. Because I know some of you guys want the book where it's just art and you don't, it's not about the story, it's just about the pages. I may make that book, I might have some more bonus features, but it's all a question of cost, because these books, the first printing of Nosfero and the way that we're doing it is way more expensive than what I charged for it, and even including shipping, because, it is prices for when we launched the book to now. Inflation has been nuts, but I stand by the quality of the book. I'll say this, and this is, I know this isn't brilliant business sense. I am very well aware, but you're getting your money's worth from that book 100%, just in the printing and the mailing. The artwork is beautiful. It's the best stuff I've ever done. The story, I think, is beautiful as well, and I mean that in the truest sense. So you guys are going to get your money's worth on that. Don't you worry. But next time when we do it, we got to do it, if you know what I'm saying. All right, let's see what we got here. We got some more people in the chat. Mark's Music Obsession says, I guess I'll have to settle for a second chance campaign. I want to be the first in line for it. Mark, it would be my honor for you to be back in that campaign. Let me see here. Hello, comrade Sammy. Glad you made it. There you go. I read at the speed of stop. You're going to do the art only first. I'm going to do it at the same time. Spring Ball, it's here. Okay, so John, here's the thing about I'm thinking about Spring Ball, and this is a big deciding factor. Well, you never know, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969. Here's one problem with that, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969. I don't know if your handle is what you ordered your book under. So I would actually try to make an effort, but I don't know. What's up, comrade Sammy? How are you doing? John, me too. Maybe I can learn a thing or two from this guy. You never know. It has happened. People have occasionally learned things from me, but, we'll see. Hopefully. And welcome. So I want Spring Ball to be done when I launch it. I want it to be done or 98% done. Because financially, and this is another aspect of this, financially we can't afford to have this much of a lag time, my family and I, between the next campaign. So, and I don't like to launch campaigns for, I personally, again, not a comment for, like, it's so weird. People, I do what I do, and I'm perfectly happy with what anyone else wants to do, period, end of story. I'm kind of a fire and forget guy when it comes to backing campaigns. But for me personally, it's because I don't have the space in the top of my head to have more than 2 campaigns going at the same time, and to have to think about 2 different fulfillments at different times. It is so hard to do. I am the person responsible and in charge of every facet of this, so I will be packing your boxes, guys. That's just the way it is. It's just so much, and the thought of doing another campaign makes me want to pull my eyelids off, if that makes you feel any better there about it. What is up, channel member Michael Bancroft? What on earth could I be working on? I'd like to introduce you to another newbie, Comrade Sammy. Comrade Sammy, welcome, I say. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that... And what's up, Crenshaw? How are you doing? Whoop, I just missed you. Where are you? There you are. Hail, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great evening. I am. I hope you are having a great evening. But yeah, for me and for my sanity, I want to have Spring Ball done. And I told my wife, our next campaign is going to be something that is done. So it's going to be... there's, and I don't want it to be too big. I don't want to offer too many different things, because that's how financially you can get yourself behind the 8 ball, and I don't want that to happen. I was actually, if there's one thing that has made this campaign difficult financially, and I'm saying this with love, guys, is I planned the financials for this campaign out as if it was barely going to get to our minimum funding goal of $5,000. I am not one of those people who is some crazy optimist. And so I never planned for the metrics. Not that I planned poorly, but I certainly didn't plan like a genius that we were going to hit 660 backers. If you had told me this it probably wouldn't have been the case. I was going to say, if I knew this before I launched this campaign, there would have been a lot less sleepless nights, but I got to be honest with you guys. You guys know there's no sleep in my nights. Sleep and my nights do not go together very well. You know how it goes. Let's see here. Yes, lots of cool people here in the chat. Everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. Cheers, groomsmen indeed. Look at my brothers talking. Yeah. That terrible teaching accident that resulted in so many deaths. I hope not. I hope not. Yeah. You never know. Honestly. The way it's going now, you can't be too sure. So yeah, so I'm more than shocked. I can't, I look at the amount of people who are watching streams right now, and I remember when it was nobody. And I look at the channel members, and when I'm putting those credits together, I just get a big smile on my face. Thank you guys who have become channel members. If you like this kind of work and you want to support a channel, let me tell you something right now. Let me make the most basic sort of pitch I can to this kind of stuff. It goes to brushes. The super chats go to brushes. They go to paints. They make this possible. There is no plan B. There is no, backup for what we do here. I know Jericho says that all the time. It's do or die, man. That's what we do here. And everything we do is about trying to fight for bringing beauty into this world against all of those complicated factors. And I don't want to complain about that, because I often think this world we're in right now with YouTube and all of this stuff, it's easier than it's ever been to get your stuff out there. The trick has been to make something of quality and to get it out there. And artists sometimes will be introverts. Malin talks about this all the time. That's not an excuse. You got to force yourself out there, And I'm glad that John used to say that, and still does. It's so important. Shanth, the guys in the chat are pretty funny guys. Gorgeous art here. Thank you so much. They are. I love the people of the chat. I love you, man. Let's see. You'll eventually have a tidal wave of new subscribers. Thanks, John. I agree 100%. John is getting it done. John is 100% getting it. And yes, please back Battle Brick Road 2. My man Eric Weathers was in the video stream earlier today. And I have to tell you guys, he did a fantastic job. He did a fantastic job lettering Nosfero. And I gotta say this, that was the only person who's done work outside of my wife's intro on Nosfero besides me is Eric. And the reason why I hired him to do it, and I was so grateful he could do it, is because he's a tremendous artist. He's a tremendous artist. He's so good at what he does, and he's getting better at an exponential rate too. And that in and of itself is scary. So if you haven't, and he's one of the most creative and imaginative people. Him and Zeb, what they're doing with Battle Brick Road's incredible. So if you have not backed Battle Brick Road, and now actually I should say congratulations, he is officially a part of the CG Kings, the Comicsgate Kings. So I'm gonna have to do an intro for him at some point, and I couldn't be happier. He is such a good guy. He's the kind of guy who will, give you the shirt off his back, man. I mean, he's that kind of dude. And he's a big Ninja Turtles fan, much like myself. So if you love the Ninja Turtles and you love great comics, go and back Battle Brick Road 1 and 2. 2 is the campaign that's up right now, but you can get 1 as a part of it. So don't miss it. And also check out Michael's site, the Lucent, which I have in the description below. Really great guys. Really great artist brothers, and as well as the Groomsman's new YouTube channel. So I know all of my linksters will do it, but Groomsman, if you could put a link to your latest video in the chat as well, that would be great, so people can bookmark that for later. Oh, look at how this stuff is coming together, man. I'm so glad I got out a new brush before this stream, because I think that you've got to have a good point on it, it's so important. I've been having some, oh gosh, let me see here. I've been having some serious introverted moments lately, not responding to anyone, just retreating to my cottage to draw. Sometimes it's like that. Yeah, I mean, I say this to people all the time, it's the introversion thing is a real thing, and you have to kind of recharge. And so there's two elements to it. One is you've got to stream, and when you find yourself burned out, you got to make sure, in terms of just extroversion time, sometimes you got to take some time, and then you got to have a good corner man. You got to have good people around you who say, okay, get your ass back out there now. That's it. And every day I don't stream, one of the things I've learned is every day I don't stream, it's harder to go back to it, because I start thinking, oh, but I've got to do this. I've got to do this. I'm like, fire up a stream and get it done. I've got a stream with my brother Gabe and my brother Jericho, Double Impact, on Gabe's channel. And we're talking about a movie that is on YouTube for free. It is hot garbage. And it is Van Damme's first movie where he's barely in it as a cameo. But he's the villain, Ivan the Russian. Such a strange movie. It's called No Retreat, No Surrender. And I can guarantee you our stream talking about it is going to be funnier and more entertaining than that movie. But holy cow. I was looking at the clock and I go, okay, I've got a doctor's appointment. Then I got something to eat, and then I'm going to do a stream. So I'm going to record a video in the morning, make 2 thumbnails, one for a live stream, one for that video. Guys, that's where the money goes. That's 100% where the money goes. And you got to do it. Yeah, I cannot wait, Mark. Oh, man, it's so great, like, meeting everybody there and cool about this space, man. It's I don't know. There's so many great YouTube channels out there that talk about really interesting and cool stuff. And of course, then there's channels like mine, which is just me painting and being, nuts. But it's a crazy thing, because I learned things about, like 18th century history. I learned things about horror movies and the history of horror movies. And my brother Jeremy, Ice and Fire, has got a great channel, and they were doing one of my favorite movies on Halloween. They were talking about Brides of Dracula, one of the great Hammer horror movies. My other brother, Michael of the Choice Voice, did a month of Hammer horror movies on his channel, and we became friends. He was one of my first YouTube friends, and it's just great, man. It's really cool to see all of the great stuff going on, and I try to basically avoid the noise. I try to find the stuff that that I love, that kind of inspires me and gets me excited about things. And I like seeing people doing things that I have thought about doing, and with skill sets that I don't have. I think that's always a fun way to go for me. And that's the whole thing about it, man. Look at this. Everybody's subscribing. I love this stuff. No Retreat was okay. Yeah, it was. This is the crazy thing about it. I can have, like, if I know I'm going to be talking about a movie with friends, like, is there a movie that you can't make a good time out of, that you go and you hang out with your friends and talk about it afterwards? I don't know if there is. I love that stuff. Even if the movie is disastrous, it's the friendship, man. And it's the camaraderie and the hilarity that kind of lifts you up. I gotta tell you, this is a big painting, Michael. This painting is ridiculous for me, man, in terms of the detail per size. I'm like, look at this, like, just to give you guys an idea, you know, because it's not just 11 by 17, you know, it's not like just comic book size. This is an 8.5 by 11 book right here, okay? And this 8.5 by 11 book is not taking up a lot of space. It barely makes it past the halfway point on the height of this painting, so holy cow, man. But I gotta do it, man, because I want to make it a great painting for Michael. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Shanth, did we? Yes, we did. We watched Mortal Kombat one summer in the theater several times, dude. I think we saw it twice. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Is Blackjack in the house? Where's Blackjack? Did I miss Blackjack? I'm always missing people. Welcome if I've missed you. It is great to see you. Yeah, it's a pretty serious painting. There's a lot of detail going into it, but you gotta make it beautiful, man. You gotta make it great, because if this gets used as a poster, if this gets used as a trading card, you know, whatever this gets used for, you know, I want people to get the most they can out of it. That's why, you know, the reason why I charge what I charge and I do what I do is because I want to give people something iconic, you know, something that they're going to see. And obviously, like with the CYBERFROG piece and some of the other, you know, pieces that I've done, people are going to buy these originals and they're going to have these in their house. And, you know, they're buying thousands, it feels like thousands of hours, but they're buying, God, hundreds and hundreds of hours of work, you know, in some cases, to make these things what they need to be. And, I mean, the same thing is true with Nosfero, and that includes promoting it. And so if this is a painting, and the link is in the description, guys, favorite, bookmark it. Go old school with it, right? Go old school. Bookmark battlebrickroad.com. Bookmark the Lucent link in the description. Bookmark that link so that you have it, because that's where we're going. We're trying to make sure that we have enough stuff that people can get to our work. So the lucentcomic.com, make sure you bookmark that, because that's how you get to us directly. There's no gatekeepers there. There's no people bearing you in the algorithm. You go to that site, you get the straight dope. And the thing about this is that this painting is about the world of the lucentcomicbook.com. Just like the Battle Brick Road piece that I'm working on right now, this is about the world of Battle Brick Road. You know, when I go out into the world, which I try to avoid because there's people out there, I'm just saying, but when I go out into the world and I'm wearing my Battle Brick Road, you know, hat when I go out, people are like, what is that? What is that? Like, I'm an ambassador for cool creator-owned comics. Like, that's how I sort of see my role here with what I do. And it's amazing how people get excited. They see a logo or they see that. It starts really, really small. And then it just gets better and better and better and bigger, and it impacts more people. You got to just, you know, bear in mind that whole thing is, you know, every journey starts with that first step. And we're well past those first steps. It doesn't mean that you know, the work, to me, it's every day. It's a battle, man, to get this stuff together. And to, you know, to work, to improve, to make things as, you know, successful and inspiring as they can be. But you see all these little brushstrokes and what they start to come together in, and you get a sense of, let me turn this off. I just want to see what the color adjustment is. It's not that great. But when you guys see what we're doing here, I mean, take a look at that. Like, take a look at the just the scale of what we're talking about here. When we're doing this, a book like this, a book like the Lucent, man. What is up, Faux Peasy? How are you doing, my friend? Yeah, everyone is going independent now. The floodgates are opening. It's comics, in comics big time. You're 100% right, man. And those folks like John Malin and Ethan, who are the first people over the wall, man, I cannot thank them enough. Just had a conversation with my local comic store owner about it. Yep, it's everywhere, guys. Yeah, there are people out there, I'm telling you. Guys, I avoid the news when I can. I am very aware of things going on, but I don't like live in the world of the news. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Think about this. Every time you see a news story about something happening out in the world, people were involved. Think about that. If you could limit your interaction with people, You know what? That doesn't work. Yeah. It sounded like a good plan, but I've seen the end of that road, and that's not good. Yeah. John, I should do something other than time lapses. Those videos are, yes, they are, bitch, to edit. 100%. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Battle Brick Road 2 right there at battlebrickroad.com, guys. Have that bookmarked. You know, it's a big thing, man. And yeah, the Lucent is Michael Bancroft's comic. So Michael from the chat, my Brogan, my brother down under. Or as my son calls him, and my wife now call him, White Shanth. You know. Which is to say, white chocolate. That's what we call him. Michael Bancroft is white chocolate. I am brown sugar. It's just the way it is, folks. I'm not responsible for these names. The ladies are. That's how it works. Let's see what we got here. I don't believe that. Must not be so. What? But I thought people were just a conspiracy theory. I know. White Shanth. Yeah. White Shanth latte. Yeah, it's totally right. I'm just saying, white chocolate, man. That's what it's about. White chocolate, folks. You know, Michael actually recently sent me a YouTube link to the song Ebony and Ivory. Yeah, you know, side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh, Lord. Why don't we? You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Love is love, people. Unless, of course, it's postmodernist interpretation, in which case I'm not sure. I think it's hate then at that point because, you know, meaning loses its value. Oh my God. But yeah, in this house, in this space, in Shanth Enjeti art, beauty is beauty, and heroes are heroes, and villains are villains, and there's complexity in all of that stuff on some level. But I never get away from the thesis statement that my job is for people to be pulled into the artwork and be excited about the things that they're seeing. And I want to handle this with a meticulous nature that, you know, that people are going to see it and they're just going to go like, what the hell is that? Like, I've got to check this out. And that's why I kind of added layers to this, man. What's up, Blackjack? How are you doing? I talked to a friend of mine who is a comic shop owner. Right on. He is extremely left-leaning. Even he is saying new comics are dying badly. It's so bad he stopped denying it. Wow. And you know what's funny is, too, about all of that stuff, right? Is, you know, mix them together. Coffee and ice cream. I'm just saying. Just saying. Yeah, here's the interesting thing about it. Ayn Rand once said, wouldn't he be regular sugar? Yeah, that's right. That's right. This is the thing that's so funny about it. When people start to realize things like that, sometimes it's the most important thing you can do in that moment is to listen to them. Because they've already kind of processed, or they're trying to process the I told you so. And like, which is to say, not that you've said it, but they're saying I was wrong. And it is one of the hardest things in the world to get people to that point where they understand they were wrong about something. Who are very dialed in, and the thing that's so important, or very locked into their thinking. But the thing that's so important to remember is people with the highest, you know, at the highest success levels have a higher sort of rate of failure. That doesn't mean that they have a higher percentage of failure. It means that they try more things that don't work, and they can declare something that doesn't work, and they know how to move on. And if the biggest problem with comics is that they've, and I don't mean political, by the way, in the sense of left or right or any of that stuff. I mean the internal politics, the office politics of comics basically became like a dysfunctional family where everybody was denying the very obvious problems to everyone on the outside. Do you get what I mean? They were like, maybe if we all put on, you know, our nice dress clothes and go out, then people aren't going to, you know, go out to dinner. People aren't going to know our family is completely messed up. That's what comics was and is. And manga doesn't have that problem because manga has, you know, its own version of Shark Tank, you know, or The Apprentice. It's like they have their anthology books and you've got to get in there and you've got to either hit it out of the park or you're out of there. You know, it is a rough market. And what happens as a result of that is only excellence can really strive. And then you've got the bande dessinée industry. and they have an audience that really is deeply invested in the art form in the books, which is to say that they want to, they're a really cool audience, and in a lot of ways the manga audience is too, because they have enough trust and faith in the art form to do its job that they don't feel like they're taking a big risk because the creators are not trying to lecture them or waste their time. Like, say whatever you want to say about the deadline aspect of things, because I know there's manga artists and bande dessinée artists who miss deadlines, and sometimes by years. But here's the thing. If you're getting something out, even at a regular clip, if it's trash, it doesn't matter. Like, how fast it came out doesn't matter. And when I look at books, when you see a manga series, how long it took between manga books isn't important when it's done. When it's done, you just go all the way through it. And so I really admire people who can crank out manga books that are excellent, but the excellence has to be the goal. The excellence has to be the goal. I remember, I think Ethan said this on a stream one time. I don't know who he was talking to, but he was on somebody else's channel, and he said something to the effect of, we don't need more comics, we need better comics, because, the mainstream had a lot of comics for a while, and bad comics they'll just go. They will be on their way, and you won't hear about them in the future. And so the same thing goes. We need artists who are doing stuff that is there to tell people, like, when you guys see this painting right here, right? When you guys see this painting, if Bance does a print or a poster of this, then I want you guys to see it. What's up, my brother Phil in the house? How are you doing, brother? It's great to see you, man. If Bance does a print or a poster or something of this and he's selling it at conventions, I want people to want to buy it and say, I want this in my home. I want somebody to see this original and see the price that my originals sell for and say, I need to have that original because I need this in my home. Like, I need to own this painting. Do you get what I'm saying? And because I want this to make money for the people who invest in it, and I want it to bring joy to people. I want people, when they get Nosfero, that's what I like about it being 8.5 by 11, besides the fact I wear glasses and it's easier when these things are larger, is when people get this book, I hope they're flipping through it all of the time. Do you know what I'm saying? I hope that they're just like, oh, cool, I want to get this book out. It's on heavy stock paper, right? It's really nicely produced, and I want it to be a book that they can just flip through to bring them joy. I need a little inspiration. Let me take out Nosfero. I'm feeling like seeing a gothic romance, horror, sword and sorcery story right now. And I just want it to be bold and fun and just be 33 gorgeous paintings. That's what it's about. Same thing with this, because this stuff also becomes a part of my body of work, man. It's these things go in art books down the road. Same with my restoration of quality vintage electronics. Right on, brother. It's about quality and pride in the work, not speed. You know what, Mark? This might seem like a weird tangent, right? But here's the thing, man. Yeah, man. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah. It's like, so here's something. Here's something that I was thinking about the other day. So I was on Halloween. I did do one fun thing for Halloween. I did listen to an old Ghost to Ghost radio broadcast, right, with Art Bell, and God rest him. And I was thinking, how do you quantify what that show was and what he did, and this, the kind of joy of that interaction with the audience and everything he was doing? How do you put a price on that? There's that stuff, the fact that I'm listening to something that was recorded in, I think, 2009 or something like that, now in 2023, and he's been a few years dead since 2018, God rest him. I mean, that just speaks to the quality of what he did and what an influence he is on so many people in terms of just, like, he was a part of people's day, and that's what this is. So, yeah, Nosfero the Cryptwalker. So, Nosfero the Cryptwalker is the story of basically, it blends vampires, Nosferatu, werewolves and all of that, and links it to Lovecraftian origin. So it's the story of evil that's brought into our world by by sort of the ancient first vampire. He basically brings these creatures into this world, and Nosfero is basically death for the undead. And I think that my favorite line about it is, here it is right now. I'll read it to you because it's in the book and it was the trailer. Paraphrasing Nosferatu. Nosfero, does that word not sound like the death bird culling the living dead at dawn? It is the name both ghouls and demons dare not say, for they know it means death for the undead. And that, my friend, is what Nosfero is. That's what he's about. And it's a romantic story. He was raised by a werewolf, and he escaped the clutches of vampires who imprisoned him as a child. And because of a combination of unique abilities he was born with, and an evil ritual they tried to subject him to that opened a doorway in his mind, he got these powers, and that are give him the ability to fight the undead and take the battle to evil. And it's the coolest shit in the world. You know what I'm saying? What is up, Blue Boy? How are you doing? It's great to see you, and I love that tiger. Let your tiger out. Hello from Kyoto, Shanth. Hello to Kyoto from me. Love the videos you've been posting. Thank you so much, Blue Boy. I really do appreciate that. Next Halloween, Shanth is going to shock the world by doing 2 fun things. You never know. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Admiral. I always love that no matter how insane his guest or caller was, Art Bell was totally excited. See, there's something... Everybody says that about him, you know? Sorry, I forget how expensive Comicsgate is. Lots of references everywhere. You're right. Just visiting my brother and dropping off a painting later today. Very cool. A year-long effort for a commission. Congratulations, my friend. Hey, take some time to pause and celebrate that accomplishment. Celebrate that accomplishment. I usually only reserve this for super chats, but because I'm hearing that, I read this really interesting thing that I think is really true. Because I've heard a lot of different definitions of friendship, but I think 5 years or so ago, I heard a definition from Jordan Peterson that I really loved, that I'm sure he might not have originated, but it's a big one. And he said, because it really does narrow down the people around you if you measure this. Friends help you celebrate your accomplishments. Friends are people who help you celebrate your accomplishments. And I know I've got great friends who do that, who say congratulations when I was closing out my book and all of that sort of stuff. So for finishing up your commission, I'm going to send this your way. So again, usually just for super chats and member chats, but this one's for you, brother. Charge! And thank you, Blue Boy. I appreciate that very much, my friend. Yeah, man. We got to do it, man. Guys... Whenever I see negativity out and about, I'm kind of like, so? You know what I mean? Like, I mean real tough things in the world. I don't mean even just light negativity. And I think this is the thing. Lamenting negativity does not bring positivity into the world. It does not create good acts to think about and shake your head in the direction of negativity. And I've been fortunate enough, whether it was artists like Todd McFarlane or Dave Stevens or Frank Frazetta, or Walt Elias Disney, for that matter, and Mary Blair and Tyrus Wong and Mark Davis and all of these incredible artists who've come along. I've had people who have been lights for me as an artist, and so I take the job really seriously. I take the job, and what I'm doing here with these videos, I take the job of making... Oh my gosh, Cranberry Langers just dropped a super chat. Thank you, Cranberry Langers. You rock, and thank you for the super chat. You are a gentleman and a scholar, and much love to you, brother. You guys are gonna get me today, man. Love you guys. This is for you, brother. Charge! Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean it's kind of a crazy thing because when I was 14, I met Todd McFarlane at a convention. And I was having a pretty tough time, in my youth, and meeting him, the way that he was so unbelievably kind, made me feel like, usually you kind of have this feeling when you're a kid and you're growing up, kind of in the middle of nowhere, you kind of get this feeling like, what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry for the noise, guys. You get this kind of feeling like, you can't get there from here kind of thing. And for me, he made me feel like you could get to... This light is not working at all. He made me feel like you could get to where he was from where I was. And I don't know how you even say thanks for that, man. Oh my God. Jeez, Jeremy Burtz. Jeez. Thank you, Jeremy Burtz. God bless you, man. You guys are going to pay for some brushes. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, sir. And so this one's for you, brother. You guys are making it rain cheerleaders, man. But yeah, I mean, it's he really. It's funny because I was in a line of like 400 people, and you don't get a lot of time with people. But when he was talking to me, and my friends, because we were just a bunch of comic book collecting knuckleheads, there really was this feeling of he was present for us, man. And shoot, that's like huge. That stuff saves your life, man. Let me see here. Cranberry Langers celebrates 11 months. Thank you, Cranberry Langers, for 11 months of membership. Don't do the ladies for this one. Beautiful book, Shanth. I am going to do the ladies for this one because that's how it works, dude. Charge! Excellent. So Bancroft is starting in about 30 minutes. I don't know if Michael is still here, but if he isn't, can somebody do me a favor and get his live stream link and drop it in the chat? Because I don't know how to do all the other stuff that you can do, all the high-tech stuff. But I want to make sure that that I've got that in my chat. And actually, if someone drops a link to his oh, I just went on a college tour with my son, and the guide walked backwards the whole time. It was amazing. Those people are incredible, man. But if somebody drops a link to Michael's stream in the chat, that's his upcoming stream that's scheduled for 30 minutes, I can pin that in the comment section. But yeah, let me see here. I'm gonna rotate. How should I rotate this thing? Which direction are we going in here? All right, I'm gonna go this way. This is a huge, crazy painting, guys. This painting is nuts, man. Holy cow. But yeah, if somebody drops it, oh, sweet, man. Of course, Stephen Rockwood has got it going on. I just got to figure out how to adjust this so I can hit that button there. Let me see here. Almost there. There we go. It's giving me the emotion thing. I don't know what the emoticons. Leave me alone, emoticons. There we go. Pin message. Okay, I think it's pinned. There we go. So yeah, when we wrap up in about 30 minutes, you're going to be able to go over to Michael's stream. So make sure you guys check it out. Michael is the artist and writer who this piece is for. He's the gentleman who commissioned this piece. And so this painting, like many of the things I've talked about today, right? This painting is yet another example of things that cannot happen without the support of people backing my work. And one of the biggest ways people back my work is, being channel members. Thank you so much, by the way, Cranberry Langer, celebrating 11 months, and all of my channel members here. That's why at the end of every stream, I play credits with all of my channel members' names in it, because I think it's really important, and in my book, my channel members are my crypt walkers, as I like to call them. It says, special thanks to crypt walkers, past and present. You guys know who you are. But then outside of that, it's all the fine folks like Razor Fist or Eric Weathers, who and Ethan Van Sciver and John Malin, who commissioned me to do work and want me to get the word out there about my artwork, but also we're kind of artist brothers, and we it's a way for us to kind of collaborate as we do things. And so yeah, that's the fun part of doing what we do here, and I'm so glad you guys are a part of it. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for coming in here. It's great, man. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. You guys are great, man. I haven't set up raids. I got to be honest with you. I don't understand any of it. Exactly. Yeah. I love it, man. That's the groomsman's, man. The groomsman loves that. Oh my God. Yeah, that was the thing he would always say whenever I told him anything. I'd be like, "Hey, man." He'd be like, "Gross." And he knows it, man. He knows it. Let me see. What is the size of this painting? So the image area is 12 by 18. And the full size of the board, I think, is 15 by 20. So I have it inset a little bit just to protect the corners. And it's on a crescent canvas textured board. So it really lets me get in on the detail here. And then every now and again, something I would advise for all of you guys who are artists or whatever you do, just in general, I have to take my glasses off just so I can kind of see what the overall looks like, because it's easy when you're working sometimes to get, target fixation and get into the detail a little too much, and so that's one of the big things, that we do, when we're working, is just to try to not get too zeroed in on the detail. One of the big things I ran into when I first got glasses was I could see the details so much, I got a little bit too dialed in on that. And so I got, I got a chance to kind of step back from that which has been great, And remember too, if you don't have, if you haven't hit the bell for notifications on Gabe's channel, someone could drop a link in the chat. Double Impact tonight after Michael's stream, I'm guessing, at 9 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to be talking about the horrendous assault on cinema that was No Retreat, No Surrender, but a damn good time. Things always get crazy and silly over there, and it's a good time. Love hanging with those guys, my crazy brothers, my crazy action movie brothers, and that's how we do it, man. Gross, says the groomsman. He knows what I'm talking about. What is it Bancroft calls Shant streams? CG inspiration streams, white pill streams. Yeah, that's what it's all about. How long has it taken to paint this so far? Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine. I'm sure if I look it up, it will horrify me. But what the cool thing is, I started the sketch for this painting on a stream. So I'm usually working on several paintings at once, so it's hard to say. But I've spent probably longer on this painting than on any commission that I've done for how many elements it is. The Razor Fist painting, I could probably give you a better angle on it, about like how long I took. Like if you were to add all the time up together, this one probably took, and I wasn't working on anything else, this one probably took me about 2 or 3 weeks, I would say. If I was working on it 5 days a week, because it was a lot of detail. This one, I can't even imagine what I've done hours-wise on this. I mean, this one, if I was working on it every single day, easily, it'd probably easily be a month and a half. I hope it hasn't already been a month and a half, because that means I'm faster than I thought I was, but I don't think it's only been a month and a half. I've been working on this for a while, man. It is crazy, man. Yeah, hit those bells, guys. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Razor Fist is great, man. And what a wonderful sort of, chance meeting that was. Because Razor Fist and I met because I was doing, just for fun, not for any particular reason. But Razor Fist and I met because I was doing paintings of his characters to unwind when I was needing a break from Nosfero. So I started doing paintings of Razor Fist characters, and then he saw them on Twitter, and he started talking to me about, maybe buying them. And then after a short amount of time, what's up, old school? Jimmy Reyes in the house. How are you doing, amigo? It's great to see you, man. Please drop, is your campaign still open, Jimmy? If it is, somebody please drop a link to it. But it's great to see you, Jimmy. But so I did this piece, and this piece of Razor Fist character from his pulp novel series. So he saw these, and then I was doing another one from his latest book not long ago, and finally he said, to me, he goes, I just set up a 300k stretch goal for his campaign, Ghost of the Badlands. If I hit 300k, I'm hiring, I think it was like 10 artists to do pinups for the back of the book, and posters, I think, was a part of it, and I want to commission you to do one. And I was like, wow, cool. And it's it, guys. I got to, man. It has to be done. It has to be done. They're like the spice. They must flow. Workout is finished. Listening to Shanth is way more motivational than any music. Oh, thank you so much, man. Hey, listen, good work on the workout. I'm going to try to get myself back in shape, man. Much love, and you have a great night, brother. You have a really great night, Crenshaw. There we go. The groomsman's got it. Dragon Age. Check it out, guys. It's live on Indiegogo. Back Jimmy Reyes. Get it done. Yeah, you guys are the best, man. All right, guys. So let's see where we are here. Let me make sure I've got this in a good angle here. I've got this. I've got this. Just going to move this up a little bit just to see how the light's happening here. This is a fun little section of it right here with the boat. And what's tough is all of the... I wanted to do it because Michael has sort of a background in playing poker, and one of the things that interests me too is when I do a painting for people, and including Razor Fist, right? I try to think of things that inspire them and things that I think about when I think of them, so that it's much more of a personal piece. It's specific to them and me thinking about what their stuff is. So on Razor Fist piece, he talked about this very famous painting when he was first pitching the idea of his book, and that was the thing that kind of got me. Was he was talking about the conversion of St. Paul, and I started thinking about that. And he showed a painting that was a big influence on him, that was of the conversion of St. Paul, where the horse was positioned like this. And I went, I'm going to use that as a reference. And for people who don't know about it, this is one of my favorite bits of this painting. So there's this very obscure gun in this book called the Bergman, and it's the Bergman. I think it's 1896. Hopefully, I'm not wrong there. Model 3, I think. I got the year. I know I got the year wrong on that. Just as I said it, I think it's completely wrong. But I couldn't find good reference for it, and I asked Razorfist. I said, "Do you own this?" And he said, "Yeah, I do." I said, "Can you shoot some photo reference of yourself holding the gun with black gloves on?" He's like, "Yeah, I got you." So this is Razorfist. Not only is this a Bergman, this is Razorfist's Bergman, and this is Razorfist's hand right there on his character. How fun is that? But that's what we can do here, man. That's what we can do. You know, we can do anything here. And it's weird when you're positive, you're enthusiastic, you're passionate, and you spend decades gaining skill. You're gonna find the people who are going to support your work, and you're going to find the people, who are kindred spirits, who want to talk about all of this cool stuff. And what could be better than being surrounded by people? It's gone right now, man. The erratic sleep story, man. The sleep schedule has been bad, man. I cannot. It is the Bergman 1896 Model 3. Never mind, I'm good. Did you know Shanth is also selling his own great artwork, hard work, and dedication? Yes, indeed. Yeah, I've got my Iron Age t-shirt gear. So if you guys haven't seen it, the link is in the description. But I did a really cool logo for the Iron Age just to get people pumped up. And there's shirts, there's hats, there's sweatshirts, there's even pins and stickers. If you're just saying, "Oh man, I've got too many t-shirts," or I need a hoodie, or I need a regular sweatshirt. So if you want that stuff, make it happen. You know, that's what you got to do. That's right. I did, man. I'm telling you what. Sometimes if I don't think, I can remember things better, because it's like muscle memory, dude. It's craziness, man. It's total craziness. But I loved doing this piece. I know he's got Razorfist also has a TeePublic store where he's selling T-shirts with this on it. Thank you for all of you guys who have bought Iron Age shirts, by the way. I keep seeing those purchases coming in, and again, every dollar helps. That dollar goes straight to Mrs. Enjeti's account, so that, because we have a joint account, and I'm always like, I want to get it to you, sort it, I gotta paint. And so that's kind of the cool thing about what we do here. So when you guys back a t-shirt, when you guys do all this, Mrs. Enjeti has a big smile on her face. Just like when she sees the YouTube money come in, it's like all of it's like, it comes in and it goes to bills. That's how it works. And so all of this stuff helps. And so we can't wait for our next campaign, so we can get that donut money coming back in, as we like to say, and making this stuff happen, man. Yeah, I am 100% on my own spectrum. That's right. Yeah, no doubt helps encourage us all to get better. God bless you guys. I noticed the blueberries on those waffles. That's right, man. No blueberries, because we got to save that blueberry money. That's right. Thank you, Mark. I got one as soon as you put them up. I know you did, Mark, and I really appreciate that. And thank you for becoming a channel member too, man. Whenever I'm checking the credits before I launch a stream, I'm always like, I got to make sure. I know it's the most recent credits if Mark's on there. Got to make sure I got Mark on there. And it's got to start with Stephen Rockwood. I decided on my next art piece loosely based on something Narwhal was talking about. Narwhal is my Nosferabro, because he did Nosferatu, which I did a pinup mini poster card was in that book of me painting Nosferatu. And I get Narwhal's work, like from the first moment I saw it, it's like, I get this dude's stuff, man. He's a great storyteller. He loves Nosferatu too, and we also, we just kind of vibe off of each other in that way. You know what I mean? He's just a cool dude, and I could talk to that dude for hours, man. Well then, goodbye, sir. Thanks again for inspiring me to pick up sketching. I love hearing that. Again, for the first time in over 2 years, a single playback of an old live stream did that. Oh, God bless you, man. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Krispy Kreme. I do love me some Krispy Kreme, guys. It's the way it is. Yeah. Everybody's take care. Yeah, absolutely. I love when people are like, head out, and people are like, you take care, man. Every time I ordered blueberry waffles, the waitress never came around. Lazy. Listen, some people may have to get fired. That's what those comment cards are for, guys. Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's great, man. Yeah, you will, 100%, my friend. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep making waffles, and we're going to keep making artwork, because that's what we do here, guys. That's what we do. All right, guys. So here's what we got to do. We're at 1 hour and 30 minutes, so I've got to grab some food before my next stream, which is going to be on Gabe's channel. And that's going to be Double Impact. If you are subscribed to this channel, I will be posting the link in the community section of YouTube, so you will get an alert. So if you're not subscribed and you want to check out that stream later, just subscribe to this channel. I'm going to post a link to it. I always do before we start the show over on Gabe's channel. But if you are sticking around on YouTube right now, guys, in, what is it now? What are we at? 15 minutes, Michael Bancroft is going to be firing up his show. So the link is pinned. The pinned comment by Stephen Rockwood up there has a link to Michael Bancroft's show. Please go and check it out, guys. He is my brother down under. He is my Brogan, and he is the white me. So, yeah, feel free to let him know when you go in there. And I am the brown him, because that is how things work, guys. So thank you so much for being here, guys. I'm going to play those credits with the channel members' names listed in them in a few seconds. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope it's been positive, and have a wonderful evening wherever you are in the world, or a good morning, depending on where you are. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, as they say. And as I always like to say at the end of these streams, guys, speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and peace, because that's what my name means. And thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you all. And just keep kicking butt. You guys are the best. And I will see you guys soon. Oh my gosh, guys. Yeah, check out all of these links here. They will be here. Thank you, Jeremy Burt's channel member. God bless you. Thank you, Stephen Rockwood, for all that you guys do. Cranberry Langers, Mark's Music Obsession, all of you great channel members who've been here, and for supporting everything. Much love, guys. I will see you guys soon. Take care, John. Take care, Comrade Sammy. See you guys. I will see you guys soon. God bless. Yeah, John, absolutely, man. Yeah, see you peeps, indeed. All right, guys, I will see you soon, and let's get these credits rolling. Take care.